do a permanent link test, then you can do a channel test, and there's, again, reason for it. Because the plug on the Cat6 has a 12 times worse electrical performance than the jack, in comparison to Cat5, whereas it's 2 to 1. So it's a lot more difficult to get a realistic pass. That's why they introduced the permanent link idea. Because no other vendor, like Nexons, or nobody would guarantee a link for 25 years. That's the whole issue. That's why they spend a lot of money on this thing, Fluke did. Okay, and again, eventually came into the standards, and that's what they required. So, let's proceed further. Random test plug, random test results. Okay, now, one of the nice things that they have done in the new version of the permanent link adapter is that they have made it interchangeable. So you can easily interchange the plug. You don't have to invest again into a whole permanent link. So we can basically go and change this little piece, which is here. You can easily do that. Yeah. Okay. They have made it from zinc die-cast, so it is very rugged. Okay, and it can give you repeatable results day in and day out. You can see here that they have done 17,000 measurements with this, and still the same results on the performance were achieved. And then you can change basically the inserts. It's very easily. We have no also tab, so it doesn't break. We have what they call a dog ear, or it's a rocker port, so it can easily be changed also if it wears out. The other thing that it's very nice about the solution, the fourth reason that we recommend as a reason to buy the DTX, is the alien crosstalk. We have a standard specified alien crosstalk module set that they can measure the performance of the Cat6a unshielded or unshielded, both scenarios. They recommend also to do shielded for alien crosstalk as well, just to see whether you have bleeds anywhere or a cut in the shield. But we have full set of solutions that they will do the alien crosstalk measurement for you. On the fiber side, there are two methods to do the testing. One is called a tree jumper method. The other one is called a one jumper method. Basically, you have 3 patch cords or 1 patch cord or cord in between. Now, if you use a very high performance cord, what they call TRCs, then the result will be very good. The performance of a hardened end face TRC is about 1/10 of a dB. So it's quite high performance. And with a tree jumper, you will be in the same region. But if you don't have an interchangeable adapter head, then there will be some serious issues and drawbacks. You only be able to do the tree jumper method. You will not be able to do the one jumper method, which gives you a more accurate result because your probabilities of the test will be less if you use a tree jumper. If you use a one jumper, the probabilities will be more to get a more accurate and repeatable results. So we have the interchangeable adapter heads for the devices that we can do the one jumper method as specified per standards. The other thing that we do is we follow the standards of 14763-3, and based on that we can do the testing of the fiber links based on the standards. The standards specify that if you use basically a category 1 source, okay, or category 5 or category 6 source, since the transmitter or the light source is a VCSEL normally when they use, or they use the FP port, it has a random point of transmitting. That means your results will be random. But if you have an LED per standard, which is what they call category 1, then you will be having a unified light which goes through. So that means the light that is transmitted for measurement will day in and day out will be the same. Whereas with the light source, which is laser based, it will be very random. It might be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, so it's not a random light source, so your measurements will be not the same from tester to tester. You bring one tester, you will pass, you bring another tester, you might fail. So they have also done another study regarding this, even on the LEDs, and they have found out that the standard deviation That means measurement, the same measurement done with the same tester in few times. They have found that the standard deviation is the highest with the VXL. It's more moderate on the LED, but if you add also what they call mandrel, which will tone down the higher order modes of the light that goes through, then you will get very repeatable results and with not much deviation from the measurement. So it has the lowest, deviation from the measurement. So you will get repeatable results for the same test that you get. That gives you confidence that your measurements are correct. So we do supply our equipment with the mandrels. And single mode does not come with a mandrel, because single mode, there's only one mode in the cable, there's nothing to tone down. But in multi-mode, there is higher order modes that you need to filter out to get repeatable results. Okay, now the fiber modules that we provide, which you will see later on as well, they are specific to the standard. So our single mode is fully ratified by the 11801 standard as well as TIA, our multi-mode as well, and then our gigabit module is ratified to the IEEE standards. So we are in full compliance to the standards as we speak. And also the mandrels, there's a standard for the mandrel which is defined in the Technical Service Bulletin 140 in the TIA 568B1 standard. Okay? The other reason that we recommend this solution, and I think one of the key winning factors, is our software, which is free of charge. It's supplied with our equipment, and it works with every single Fluke testing equipment on the physical layer. So that means if you do OTDR test, you do a copper test, you do optical loss test set with different equipment that we have, all of the results will come into a single software. And then if you invest in what they call linkware stats, you can get very good information with respect to statistical representation of the entire project that you did. How many percentage of the links failed, how many kilometers you did the testing for, and so forth. How you did the installation and termination for. And there's a lot of added values to the linkware stat. This is a paid software, it costs about $500–600, but it's well worth it, and you get this kind of graphical representation. Okay? And finally, your certificate of conformance. This is an old image, so you get a pass here. You will get your basically labeling ID, you will get your headroom, and you get what standard you specified for. And it passed. And then on the new version of the software, here you will see the applications it is compliant for. I myself as an end user will look here first here, then here, and then here to make sure that they follow the specific standards. Because at the end of the day, I want to run the applications. So these are the 3 spots that are important, but if you want to look into the details, we also have full detailed reports. Okay. We can do the same thing for the optical loss test set as well as the OTDR. This is the OTDR image. So we get all in the linkware software. And you can organize your buildings and floors and the distribution frames and patch panels and so forth in the same software. And one of the nicest things, the 7th reason from Fluke perspective, is that the cable tester is endorsed by just about every single, I think every single, not just about, every single cable manufacturer as the probe that they will look at in order to give you the 25-year performance warranty. Okay? These are some of them that we have put. Now, in addition to these things, there's not a lot of other nice features to the product, which I want to discuss. One of the things that we do, the guys who have the people who have the tester, how do you label? You just do the test and you label it immediately, you just put a label and you save, right? Okay. How many of you have mistyped your labels? It happens, right? So, one of the nice things that the product has is that you can upload your labels from your labeling software. Maybe you have your CATs where you physically have all of your labels defined in the system. You can push the labels from the CAT into the DTX. I'll show you how. It's very simple. Either you can do it through Excel. So what I have done is just created the ID list here, and I'll do open Excel, create a list, and save as a CSV, or if you're on AutoCAD, you can save as text if you wish. And all the labels will be prepared and ready to go. Next thing you do, you open linkware, you go to DTX cable analyzer, you go to the create ID list, and you click.